All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. Um, just wanted to jump in on some quick topics real quick because you still have down here, you still have basically a lot of flooding and shit going on, and brothers putting up videos about it. I saw the brothers in Jeff City. They put up a video. I had a little bit of footage I was going to put up later. But hey, everything is basically under the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to jump into some scriptures on that. Hey, because everything that's done in this place, America, has already been done before. Okay, and spiritually, this place, the scriptures tell you, this place is Egypt, it's Sodom, it's Babylon, it's all these different places, and all the evil from all those different places have come, and they've been incorporated within the very fabric of this nation. And you can see that through basically everything. You can see that through the advertisement, your food, the average person, and their and the culture that they partake in. You know, everything, even now. You know, the culture was already, everything was already fucked up, but now it's becoming more and more fucked up. Over and over again. And it's happened, it's been like that before. This is, Genesis 41 and 33. You know, the simple story. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this and let him appoint officers over the land and take up the fifth part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be the for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the spirit of the Most High is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. So, you know, it's a common story, but when you think about all the things of the story, basically Pharaoh saw that the Most High, you know, aka, you know, the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, which that was a lot of times that's what they used, blessed him and gave him understanding of the dreams that he received. And basically, you know, he had to stockade up food because they were going to have 7 good years and 7 bad years. That's what Pharaoh's dream was about when you go back up and you read through that. And if you look at America, you know, Jake coming out of slavery, going into, you know, the Industrial Revolution in these different parts. Hey, Jake was doing this, the sons of Jacob, we say Jake, were doing the same thing. They were coming out as the top inventors. They were coming out as the top mechanics, and this was coming out of slavery. These are people, a lot of cases where they had no formal education. You know, you had different Israelites who were porters. I know here where I'm at on the river, basically that was the biggest industry here, the river boats, and Jake would be on the river boat, you know, working for Esau, doing that type of thing as well. So, you know, here in America, it's supposed to be Egypt, but they opted not to do that. They opted not to put, you know, so-called Israelites in charge, which is why they're trying to, a lot of our people are trying to get reparations to this day, because, you know, in many cases, because they don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shai, these so-called white people, these Edomites, hey, they don't know what's going on in their own empire. and they don't know how to tweak their own empire and keep it going. So they need our people to do so. This is Genesis 41:24. That's why in the upcoming race in 2020, they're pushing for so many of our people to try to, be put in that position. The Kamala Harrises, the Cory Bookers, and all these other fakes, phonies, and frauds, because they can see that their empire is coming to a crash. And the only option left is for them to try to put, certain choice, coon ass niggas in charge, to try to use our people to make this place great again. Okay, because Joseph is basically what saved Egypt. If Joseph wouldn't have did that, Egypt would have crashed. Going back to verse 24, and the thin ears devour the 7 good ears, and I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. Yeah, that's basically a part of it, because that's these Edomites. That's what they're doing. They got all these people who can crunch numbers. They can do programming. They can look into pricing. They can look into the stock, and they can evaluate stock for this and that. They can do a deep dive into their empire and try to figure out how to tweak different things in different parts and different selections. Hey, and this is where Yahweh Shah comes in, because in order for you to maintain the empire, all the gears have to be clicking together. Okay, but this is an article from the Washington Post. I would have had it pulled up here. Unfortunately, after you use it for so long, they want you to pay for it, because they track your IP when you go to different news sites. Okay, and that's a part of the famine of the word as well. But this is a quick article, because once again, going back to what I was saying before, the flooding. You have a lot of flooding going into this place. Yeah, because and that's part of the agriculture, of course, is part of the gears of this kingdom, just like it was with Egypt, which is why I brought that out first. This says Corn Belt farmers, because this is the Corn Belt. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. This is the article I'm reading off. See if I can maybe. Okay, so maybe they will let me get it. Nope. That's the damn devil for you. Anyway, though, this is the Corn Belt. It said Corn Belt farmers are used to being at the mercy of the weather, but they are not used to the weather being quite this merciless. Through all of April and all of May, wave after wave of rain hit the nation right in the breadbasket, with April capping the wettest 12 months on record for the continental United States. The wettest 12 months on record. The past 60 days in particular have coincided with planting season in much of the country. States across the Corn Belt led the way, nearing or breaking previous precipitation records. Midwest cities from St. Louis to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, have reported unprecedented rainfall. Let's jump to the good part. It says farmers cannot plant in that muck because of the topsoil is more waterlogged basically than it's ever been. It fouls their equipment and strangles their seeds. It is not enough for the rain to stop. The soil has to dry for as much as a week before they can plant again. Jumping down, it should have been prime planting season. In most years, almost every corn seed will be in the ground by now. And this is an article that was written, I think, June 4th. It's June. This is not like most years. As the calendar ticks toward the point of no return, new data released Monday shows farmers have planted 67% of the acres they had planned to put in corn. In key states such as Illinois and Indiana, it is even lower. When Sherman Newland surveys the 2,500 acres, blase, basically they interviewed a farmer. He said, look, if we get another big rain, it's over. Planting season is more loosely defined than you think, blah, blah, blah. Hey, so basically, man, all this soil is becoming waterlogged. These farmers are not being able to plant. and it's going to affect everything because the price, not just corn, but corn is a big one. The price of corn, uh, most of the fuel now uses 10% ethanol. Okay, ethanol, of course, we know comes from corn, and then corn prices have effect on other prices. So if the fuel price goes up, because you do have some places that do just have pure gasoline, but most places around the nation they got that 10% ethanol. So gasoline prices go up, prices for everything goes up. That's why empire, man. That's why um, an empire. Every empire that's been set up on this planet has been set up by Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Because the gears, everything is so sensitive, and if one thing doesn't turn right, it'll fuck everything else up. Okay, and America is the same too. The Most High created this place, and He made this place great. He gave even going back to Cristobal Colon when he crossed the ocean and came over here. The Lord could have put a tsunami wave and killed his ass immediately. But He guided those people over here. He used them to fulfill prophecy because the Israelites had to go in enslavement. The troop had to defeat Gad, and Judah had to be taken down. Ephraim, all the tribes had to be taken down. Just like Egypt. They sold Joseph into slavery, and then Joseph built himself up in Egypt. He used Egypt for what it was, and basically, eventually, his brothers had to come to him because there was a famine, and they had to come and they had to bow to him when they had sold him for slavery, and that's exactly what excuse me. They all had to come to him, and then that's how the nation, all of the Israelites came into Egypt, because our forefathers came to Egypt, and then all of the sons of those sons, and it had to happen. It was prophesied that happened, and then that's where the 400-year prophecy comes from, because the Israelites we came out of Egypt. That's a large part of our history. But verse 47, in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls, and He gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid He up in the same. And Joseph, it's a lock, it is when the screen is bright. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons. Right, so it's going to go into the story of Joseph. And basically, he was given, it's 2 tribes which come from Joseph. But going back into the scriptures, because I was talking to an Edomite about it, and I was asking him, well, look, just trying to pick his brain about it. I said, well, look, if the corn gets fucked up and the crops get fucked up and prices are gonna go up, right? Doesn't that mean that everything is gonna go up, and that it could be heavy inflation? And basically, what he said was no. America's a balanced system. If people don't have enough money, they're not going to buy stuff. If they're not going to buy stuff, then the prices are going to go down. Well, here's what he forgot. Just goes to show you these Edomites, they don't know the Bible. Habakkuk 2:6, shall not all these take a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Because if what he was saying was so true, then the U.S. wouldn't need to be going to war. We wouldn't need to be trying to expand into other people's nations, including going into nations that were promised the so-called Native Americans, draining them of the resources, going into different nations amongst every country, But uh, uh, with Israel and West Africa, you got them doing the same thing. They're trying to go into West Africa. They're trying to take over and keep Africa under their foot as well. They're trying to keep all of these different contracts open so they can keep resources coming in. And U.S. is building up debt to try to keep this place afloat. You know, and we're trillions of dollars in debt. That's another reason we know we're never going to receive reparations from this place. That's why what this we're doing is so important. Matter of fact, let me start at verse 5. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Yeah, he transgresses by wine, his philosophies. The philosophies of these proud ass Edomites is they can do whatever the fuck they want, in a nutshell. It said because he transgresses by wine. That's why you see so many homosexuals and different people walking around. And that's not hate speech, that's just the truth. Because the tolerance policy on them has been lifted. But on my people, the so-called Native American, Latino, and black people who go back to slavery, the tolerance level is becoming less and less. Yeah, but also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth all unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what America is. They heaped all people together here. You know, and that's how we know it's talking about America. That's what these Christians err, because they can't see that that's prophecy. They enlarge their desire as health, as destruction, and they are as death. And one of the top images for these Edomites, these so-called white people, is the skull. You walk around, they have skulls on their shirt. It's not on my shirt, but they got skulls on their shirt. They got skulls tattooed. They got the Grim Reaper tattooed. You know, go into a fucking Hot Topic store and see some of the artwork they got. They're as death. Okay, and once again, they gather unto them all nations. That's what America is. So not all these take up a parable against them and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that's talking about the debt. That thick clay is debt. And this place is completely up in debt. And word there. The word there is Ibatayat. Ibatayat. Weight of pledges, heavy debts. Exactly. Heavy debts, weight of pledges, heavy debt. So, hey, that's all I had, man. I just wanted to jump on the topic. Yeah, because these Edomites, you know, you have to consistently and constantly go in on them. They think shit is sweet. They think that's their spirit is. They can see, even though that they see that this place is going down, and they see that the Most High is fucking them up on all levels, somehow they still believe through pride that they have a chance, and they don't. Okay, and this YouTube shit, like brothers are saying, this YouTube shit won't last forever. Shit, having access to all this information on the internet, it won't last forever. And every one of these belts they got, look at all these. This place is proud as fuck. They stole all this. The banana belt. Yeah, because that's another thing they could do. They could milk resources from South America, the Caribbean, Central America, Mexico. The banana belt. The Bible belt, yeah, right. The black belt. That's basically where Judah was, a lot of Judites were slaves at. The Borscht belt. Well, that's talking about upstate New York, I believe. Catskill, that's where Mike Tyson is from. Corn Belt, yeah, Midwest states where corn is the crop, that's gonna fail. The Cotton Belt, that's gonna fail. The Frost Belt, that's gonna fail. That's where them Edomite meth heads at. The Fruit Belt, that's gonna fail. The Grain Belt, that's gonna fail. The Indiana Gas Belt, that's gonna fail. All of these belts are gonna fucking fail. You know, all of this shit. And just like the scriptures say, they're gonna be stripped naked. So that means the belts are gonna be taken off. And every nation is gonna see your shame. All these belts are gonna be stripped. Hey, but Lord willing, this is edifying. Hey, call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor say apostle and elders, great millstone, and Shalom.